There are wounds inside your body that nobody else can fully see. There are nights when pain keeps you awake while the world around you sleeps peacefully. There are moments when fear enters your thoughts after hearing difficult words from doctors, reports, symptoms, and weakness. There are days when exhaustion becomes so heavy that even simple tasks feel difficult. But listen carefully to me now. The blood of Jesus still has power to heal. Stay with me until the end, because what I am about to speak over your body, your mind, and your spirit is not empty encouragement. These words carry life. These words carry peace. These words carry authority through the blood of Jesus that has never lost its power. Before this moment began, I already knew every pain hidden inside your body. I knew the symptoms, I knew the fear, I knew the emotional exhaustion, and I knew the silent questions inside your heart asking whether healing would ever come. But today I am reminding you that sickness does not have final authority over your life. I do. I created your body with purpose. I created your mind with order. And I created your life for more than fear, suffering, and hopelessness. Even now, while you are listening to these words, my healing presence is moving quietly through places inside you that pain tried to control for too long. The blood of Jesus still speaks healing over your body. The blood of Jesus still speaks peace over your mind. And the blood of Jesus still speaks restoration over every area of your life that sickness tried to weaken. My child, stop allowing fear to become louder than faith. You have spent too much time expecting bad news, too much time preparing emotionally for worse outcomes, too much time allowing anxiety to sit inside your thoughts every day. But fear was never meant to rule your life. Fear weakens the heart. Fear drains peace. Fear steals strength before battles even begin. That is why I am calling you back into trust. Trust me even while healing is unfolding. Trust me even when symptoms feel frustrating. Trust me even when progress seems slow. Because healing is not always loud. Sometimes healing begins quietly. Sometimes healing begins deep inside before it becomes visible outside. And sometimes healing starts with peace entering the mind before strength returns to the body. I know some of you listening feel tired emotionally, tired of waiting, tired of medications, tired of discomfort, tired of carrying hidden pain while still trying to appear strong for everyone around you. But you do not have to carry this burden alone anymore. Bring your fear into my presence. Bring your discouragement into my presence. Bring your weakness into my presence. Because the blood of Jesus still carries enough power to restore what sickness tried to steal from you. There is no disease greater than my authority. There is no diagnosis beyond my reach. And there is no pain too deep for my healing hand to touch. Even now, I am speaking peace over your body, peace over your nerves, peace over your thoughts, peace over your breathing, peace over your sleep. Because healing flows more freely where fear no longer controls the atmosphere. I want you to stop speaking hopelessness over your future. Stop declaring that nothing will change. Stop repeating words of defeat over your body every single day. Your words shape your atmosphere more than you realize. When you constantly speak fear, anxiety grows stronger. When you constantly expect suffering, discouragement deepens. But when faith begins speaking again, strength begins rising again. Declare life again. Declare peace again. Declare healing again. Because the blood of Jesus still has authority over sickness, weakness, fear, and pain. I know there are hidden emotional wounds connected to physical sickness too. Some of you became afraid after difficult experiences. Some of you lost confidence after long battles with illness. Some of you quietly wonder whether your body will ever feel normal again. But I do not want you living every day trapped by fear of the future. I want your spirit resting in my promises. Your healing journey is not meaningless. Your pain is not unseen, and your prayers have not been ignored. While you were crying quietly, I was listening. While you were afraid silently, I was near. While you were exhausted emotionally, my mercy was still carrying you through every difficult moment. That is why you must not surrender now. Do not allow discouragement to convince you healing is impossible. Do not allow delayed answers to weaken your faith completely. Because even now, restoration is beginning in places you cannot yet fully see. The blood of Jesus still restores strength. The blood of Jesus still renews weak bodies. The blood of Jesus still calms anxious hearts. And the blood of Jesus still reminds darkness that your life belongs to me. I want you to care for your body with wisdom too. Rest when rest is needed. Protect your peace carefully. Guard your thoughts carefully. Because emotional stress affects the body more than many people realize. Your body was not created to live under endless pressure and fear every day. Slow down sometimes. Breathe deeply sometimes. Sit quietly in my presence sometimes. Allow your spirit to rest again. Because peace itself can become part of healing. I know there are moments when you feel discouraged, watching others live freely while you continue fighting silent battles. But do not compare your healing journey with anyone else's story. I am working personally in your life. I know exactly what your body needs. I know exactly what your spirit needs. And I know exactly how to restore strength back into your life again. Even now, while you continue listening, healing peace is settling over your thoughts. Fear is loosening its grip. Emotional heaviness is beginning to lift. And hope is quietly rising again inside your heart. Because where my presence is welcomed, healing begins moving. If these words are speaking directly to your spirit right now, type, "The blood of Jesus is healing me," in the comments as an act of faith, and stay until the end of this message. Because what I will speak next will help break fear, restore strength, and bring peace into areas of your life where sickness tried to steal hope. If these words brought peace to your heart today, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with someone who needs healing and encouragement right now. And if you feel strengthened and blessed by this ministry, you can support this work through the link below so more people around the world can continue receiving hope, healing, and faith-filled prayers through the power of the blood of Jesus. Remember this tonight, the blood of Jesus still heals. The blood of Jesus still restores. The blood of Jesus still strengthens. And the blood of Jesus still carries authority over every sickness trying to rise against your life. There are moments when sickness attacks more than the body. It attacks your peace. It attacks your confidence. It attacks your thoughts. And slowly, if you are not careful, fear begins speaking louder than faith inside your heart. But listen carefully to me now. The blood of Jesus still has power over every fear connected to your healing journey. Stay with me until the end, because what I am about to speak over your mind and body is meant to break discouragement, calm anxiety, and restore strength where emotional exhaustion has quietly been growing inside you for too long. I know there are nights when your thoughts become heavy. You think about symptoms, you think about reports, you think about the future. And sometimes fear quietly whispers that things may never improve. But I do not want your life controlled by fear-driven thinking anymore. Fear weakens the spirit before the battle even begins. Fear steals peace before healing fully unfolds. Fear keeps the body tense, anxious, and exhausted. But today I am reminding you that the blood of Jesus still speaks peace over your thoughts. You do not have to live trapped by constant worry. You do not have to wake up every day expecting suffering. You do not have to spend your future imprisoned by fear of what might happen next, because your future is still in my hands. My child, I know some of you listening have become emotionally tired from waiting too long. You prayed, you hoped, you believed, and yet certain struggles continued longer than you expected, and slowly discouragement entered your heart. Now sometimes you wonder whether your body will ever fully recover again. But do not allow delay to destroy your faith. Healing does not always happen according to human timing. Sometimes healing is immediate. Sometimes healing unfolds gradually, but whether healing comes suddenly or step by step, my power remains the same. The blood of Jesus still heals completely. I want you to stop speaking death over your body. Stop repeating words like, "I will never get better." Stop agreeing with hopelessness every day. Stop expecting weakness to control your future permanently. Your words shape your atmosphere more than you realize. When fear continually fills your speech, anxiety grows stronger inside your mind. But when faith begins speaking again, strength begins rising again. Speak peace over your body. Speak healing over your future. Speak life over your thoughts. Because the blood of Jesus still carries authority over disease, weakness, fear, and emotional heaviness. I know there are moments when you feel isolated in your struggle. People may see your smile while never understanding your hidden pain. They may see your appearance while never recognizing the emotional exhaustion quietly living inside your heart. But I see every silent battle completely. I see the fear hidden behind your thoughts. I see the discouragement hidden behind your smile. I see the emotional pressure that sickness placed upon your life. And I want you to understand tonight that none of it has escaped my attention. While you were crying privately, I remained beside you. While you were afraid silently, I remained near you. While you were exhausted emotionally, my mercy was still carrying you through every difficult moment. You are not abandoned inside this healing journey. Even now, while you are listening to these words, peace is beginning to enter places where fear tried to remain for too long. The blood of Jesus still calms anxious hearts. The blood of Jesus still restores weary minds. The blood of Jesus still renews strength inside exhausted bodies. And the blood of Jesus still speaks hope over situations that feel impossible. I want you to begin protecting your inner peace carefully. Guard what enters your mind daily. Guard the conversations surrounding your spirit daily, because fear spreads quickly when constantly fed through negativity, panic, and hopelessness. Not every voice deserves authority over your emotions. Listen more closely to my promises than to your fears. Listen more closely to faith than to panic, because peace grows stronger where trust becomes deeper. There are some listening right now whose sickness became connected to emotional stress, trauma, fear, and constant pressure. Your body became exhausted because your spirit remained tense for too long. But tonight, I am calling your heart back into rest. Slow your thoughts down. Release the pressure to control everything. Release the constant fear about tomorrow, because healing grows more freely where peace is allowed to enter. I know some of you became discouraged after long battles with pain. Some became frustrated after slow progress. Some became emotionally drained after hearing difficult reports again and again. But do not let your current condition decide your final outcome. I still have authority over your future. The blood of Jesus still carries healing power, and your body still belongs to me. There is no sickness too advanced for my touch. There is no weakness too deep for my strength. And there is no fearful atmosphere that cannot change when my presence enters it. That is why you must remain close to me daily. Pray daily. Rest in my presence daily. Fill your atmosphere with worship daily. Because your spirit needs healing too, not only your body. Many people focus only on symptoms while ignoring the condition of their inner life. But true healing touches the whole person. I want to restore your peace. I want to restore your confidence. I want to restore your joy. And I want to restore the emotional strength sickness tried to steal from you. Even now, while you continue listening, heaviness is lifting from your thoughts. Fear is loosening its grip over your mind, and hope is beginning to rise again where discouragement once lived. Because where my presence is welcomed, restoration begins quietly. Do not surrender to hopelessness now. Do not stop believing now. Do not let fear become stronger than faith now. Because your healing story is not finished. If these words are speaking directly to your spirit tonight, type, "The blood of Jesus gives me strength" in the comments, as an act of faith, and remain until the end of this journey, because the next message will help break anxiety, restore emotional peace, and strengthen your body and spirit through the healing power of the blood of Jesus. There are hidden battles happening inside your body that nobody else fully understands. People may see you standing. People may hear you speaking. People may think you are strong because you continue moving forward every day. But they do not always see the exhaustion behind your smile. They do not always understand the emotional weight sickness has placed upon your heart. And they do not always know how many nights you cried silently while praying for relief. But listen carefully to me now. The blood of Jesus still has power to restore what sickness tried to steal from your life. Stay with me until the end, because what I am about to speak over your spirit is meant to strengthen your faith, calm your fears, and remind your heart that healing is still possible through my power. I know there are moments when weakness frustrates you. You remember how your body used to feel. You remember how freely you once moved. You remember seasons when fear did not constantly sit inside your thoughts. And sometimes the memory of your former strength makes your current struggle feel even heavier. But do not lose hope. Your story is not finished. Your healing is not impossible. And your future is not owned by sickness. The blood of Jesus still carries healing authority over every part of your body, over your blood, over your nerves, over your organs, over your breathing, over your bones, over your sleep, over your mind, and over every hidden place where pain has quietly lived for too long. My child, stop allowing discouragement to become the atmosphere surrounding your life. You have spent too much time expecting bad outcomes, too much time preparing emotionally for disappointment, too much time waking up already afraid before the day even begins. But fear weakens the body more than you realize. Fear drains strength. Fear increases exhaustion. Fear steals peace from the healing process. That is why I am calling you into deeper trust tonight. Trust me, even while waiting. Trust me, even when symptoms fluctuate. Trust me, even when progress feels slower than expected. Because healing is still working, even when you cannot yet see every result immediately. Some healing begins quietly beneath the surface. Some healing begins emotionally before it becomes physical. And some healing unfolds step by step while faith grows stronger inside your spirit. Do not measure my power by temporary symptoms. Measure my faithfulness by the countless times I already carried you through difficult seasons before. I know there are listeners right now who became mentally exhausted from constant overthinking. You monitor every sensation. You fear every change. You replay every negative possibility inside your mind repeatedly. And slowly, anxiety has become part of your daily life. But I never created your mind to live trapped under constant fear. The blood of Jesus still brings peace to troubled thoughts. The blood of Jesus still calms anxious hearts. And the blood of Jesus still breaks the emotional heaviness that sickness tries to create inside people's lives. You do not have to panic every day anymore. You do not have to live constantly preparing for the worst anymore, because your healing does not depend only on human understanding. Your healing rests inside my hands. I know some of you listening became discouraged because healing did not happen instantly. You prayed for immediate change. You hoped for sudden restoration. And when progress felt slow, disappointment quietly entered your heart. But do not mistake gradual healing for absent healing. Even now, restoration is happening inside you. Strength is returning slowly. Peace is returning quietly. Hope is rising again where fear once lived. Because where my presence enters, healing begins moving. I want you to stop speaking negatively over your body. Stop saying nothing will change. Stop declaring weakness over your future. Stop agreeing with hopelessness every single day. Your words affect your atmosphere more than you realize. When fear controls your speech, discouragement grows stronger. But when faith begins speaking again, peace begins returning again. Declare healing over yourself. Declare life over yourself. Declare strength over yourself. Because the blood of Jesus still has power over every sickness trying to remain in your life. You well? There are some listening tonight whose bodies became tired not only from disease, but from emotional stress and long-term fear. Pressure weakened your sleep. Anxiety drained your energy. Emotional exhaustion slowly affected your health. But tonight, I am speaking rest over your spirit, rest over your thoughts, rest over your emotions, because healing flows more freely where peace becomes stronger than fear. I want you to spend more time resting in my presence, not only asking for healing, but learning to sit quietly with me again. Allow worship to calm your atmosphere. Allow prayer to calm your thoughts. Allow my promises to become louder than your fears, because your spirit needs peace just as much as your body needs strength. There are moments when sickness tries to steal identity from people. You stop seeing yourself as whole. You begin seeing yourself only through pain, weakness, symptoms, and limitations. But hear me clearly tonight. You are not your sickness. You are not your diagnosis. You are not defined by your weakness. The blood of Jesus still speaks life over your identity. You still carry purpose. You still carry value. And you still carry a future filled with hope beyond this present struggle. Even now, while you are listening to these words, healing peace is moving through your mind. Emotional heaviness is lifting slowly. Fear is weakening, and your spirit is beginning to breathe again after carrying pressure for too long. Because my presence is still near you. I have not forgotten you. I have not abandoned your prayers, and I have not stopped working inside your life. So do not surrender to hopelessness now. Do not stop believing now. Do not allow fear to become stronger than faith now, because the blood of Jesus still restores. The blood of Jesus still renews. The blood of Jesus still strengthens. And the blood of Jesus still carries healing power over every sickness standing against your body tonight. If these words are speaking directly into your spirit right now, type, "The blood of Jesus is restoring my body" in the comments as an act of faith. And remain until the end of this journey, because the next message will help break emotional exhaustion, restore inner peace, and strengthen your faith while healing continues through the power of the blood of Jesus. There are moments when your body feels tired, but the deeper exhaustion is actually inside your soul. You try to stay positive. You try to remain hopeful. You try to keep believing that things will improve, but after long seasons of sickness, pain, weakness, and emotional pressure, your heart quietly becomes weary. And sometimes the hardest battle is not physical pain alone. Sometimes the hardest battle is fighting discouragement every single day. But listen carefully to me now. The blood of Jesus still has power to strengthen weary hearts. Stay with me until the end, because what I am about to speak over your spirit is meant to restore emotional peace, renew inner strength, and remind you that your healing journey is not forgotten by heaven. I know there are listeners right now who feel emotionally drained from treatments, drained from waiting, drained from carrying fear silently, drained from pretending to be stronger than you actually feel. But you do not need to hide your exhaustion from me anymore. I already see every hidden burden. I already know every fearful thought. I already understand every silent prayer whispered through tears during difficult nights. And tonight, I'm reminding you that your weakness does not push me away from you. It draws my compassion closer to you. The blood of Jesus still speaks peace over exhausted minds. The blood of Jesus still speaks calm over fearful emotions. And the blood of Jesus still carries healing power into every area of your life touched by sickness and discouragement. My child, stop believing the lie that you must carry this struggle alone. You were never created to survive separated from my peace. That is why fear feels so heavy inside you sometimes. That is why anxiety drains your strength so deeply sometimes, because your spirit was created to rest in me, not in constant panic about the future. I know there are moments when healing feels slower than expected, and during those moments, discouragement quietly whispers dangerous thoughts. What if nothing changes? What if this struggle never ends? What if healing is not possible for me? But tonight, I am silencing those fears through the authority of the blood of Jesus, because fear does not decide your future. Symptoms do not own your destiny, and discouragement does not have final authority over your life. I do. There are some listening right now who became emotionally trapped by monitoring every symptom constantly. Your mind rarely rests anymore because fear taught you to watch your body with anxiety instead of peace. And slowly, emotional tension became normal inside your life. But tonight, I am calling your thoughts back into rest. Stop expecting disaster every day. Stop preparing emotionally for pain before anything even happens. Stop assuming that every difficult sensation means hopelessness, because healing grows stronger where peace is welcomed. I want you to begin speaking gently to yourself again, not with fear, not with hopelessness, not with emotional cruelty. Many of you became harsh toward yourselves because sickness frustrated you for too long. But your body needs compassion during healing, not constant fear and condemnation. Speak life over yourself. Speak peace over yourself. Speak hope over yourself. Because your words affect your spirit more than you realize. The blood of Jesus still carries authority over emotional heaviness. That means sadness does not own you forever. Fear does not own you forever, and exhaustion does not have permission to remain permanently over your life. There are hidden emotional wounds connected to physical sickness too. Some of you became afraid after painful diagnoses. Some became anxious after losing strength. Some became discouraged after watching life change unexpectedly. And now your heart struggles to relax fully because fear quietly waits beneath the surface of your thoughts every day. But I want to heal more than your body tonight. I want to heal your inner world too. I want to restore your confidence again. I want to restore your emotional peace again. And I want to restore the quiet joy sickness tried to steal from your life. Because healing is not only physical, healing touches the whole person. That is why you must protect your atmosphere carefully. Surround your spirit with peace. Surround your thoughts with truth. Surround your life with things that strengthen faith instead of feeding fear constantly. Not every conversation deserves access to your mind. Not every fearful voice deserves agreement. And not every negative prediction deserves space inside your heart. The blood of Jesus still speaks louder than fear. I know there are some listening tonight who secretly feel tired of fighting. You kept believing for so long that exhaustion slowly entered your spirit. But hear me clearly now. Do not quit during the middle of your healing story. Do not surrender to hopelessness while restoration is still unfolding. Because even now, while you are listening to these words, healing peace is moving quietly through your thoughts. Emotional pressure is beginning to loosen. Heaviness is lifting slowly. And strength is beginning to rise again where discouragement once lived. Because my presence changes atmospheres. Where my spirit is welcomed, fear loses power. Where peace enters, anxiety weakens. And where the blood of Jesus is remembered with faith, hopelessness cannot remain forever. I want you to rest more deeply in my care tonight. Not shallow rest, not temporary distraction. Real rest. The kind of peace that reminds your spirit you are still safe in my hands even during difficult seasons. You do not need every answer immediately. You do not need complete understanding before peace becomes possible. Sometimes healing begins when your heart finally releases the pressure to control every outcome. Trust me with your future. Trust me with your healing process. Trust me with the timing you cannot fully understand yet, because I have not lost control over your life. And I have not forgotten the prayers you whispered quietly during painful nights. The blood of Jesus still restores weak bodies. The blood of Jesus still strengthens tired spirits. The blood of Jesus still renews emotional peace. And the blood of Jesus still carries enough power to heal every area where sickness tried to leave fear behind. So breathe deeply tonight. Release the tension. Release the panic. Release the emotional burden you were never meant to carry alone forever. And allow your spirit to rest again in my presence. If these words are speaking directly into your heart right now, type "The blood of Jesus is giving me peace" in the comments as an act of faith, and remain until the end of this journey, because the next message will help restore confidence, strengthen your body and emotions, and remind your heart that healing is still working through the mighty power of the blood of Jesus. There are seasons when sickness tries to steal more than health. It tries to steal hope. It tries to steal peace. It tries to steal joy, confidence, sleep, and even the desire to keep moving forward. And slowly, without realizing it, many people begin living in survival mode instead of living with faith, peace, and expectation for healing. But listen carefully to me now. The blood of Jesus still has power to restore everything sickness tried to take from your life. Stay with me until the end, because what I am about to speak over your body, your thoughts, and your spirit is meant to rebuild strength where fear created weakness, and restore confidence where discouragement tried to settle deeply inside your heart. I know there are people listening tonight who feel emotionally worn down, not because you stopped believing completely, but because you became tired of carrying the battle for so long. Some of you became exhausted from pain. Some became exhausted from fear. Some became exhausted from waiting for change while trying to remain hopeful every day. But tonight, I am reminding you, you are not fighting alone. Even during the moments when you felt weak emotionally, my hand was still holding you together. Even during the nights when fear became loud inside your mind, my presence never left your side. And even during the days when your body felt exhausted, the blood of Jesus was still speaking life over your future. My child, stop speaking as though your healing story is already over. You keep measuring your future by your current condition. You keep measuring tomorrow by today's pain. You keep looking at temporary symptoms while forgetting eternal promises. But I am greater than what your body currently feels. I am greater than reports. I am greater than weakness. And I am greater than every fearful thought trying to rise against your peace tonight. The blood of Jesus still carries healing power. Not partial healing, not temporary peace, not fragile hope. Real healing, real peace, real restoration. I know some of you became afraid after hearing difficult words from doctors, specialists, or medical reports. And now every small sensation creates anxiety inside your thoughts. You constantly monitor your body, waiting for something to go wrong again. But fear is exhausting your spirit. You were never created to live under constant panic. That is why tonight I am calling your heart back into trust. Trust me while healing continues. Trust me while your body regains strength. Trust me while your mind learns peace again. Because healing is not only physical, healing also includes freedom from fear. The blood of Jesus still calms anxious minds. The blood of Jesus still restores emotional balance. And the blood of Jesus still removes the heaviness sickness tries to leave behind inside people's hearts. I want you to begin expecting good things again. Many of you stopped hoping because disappointment hurt too deeply. Now you protect yourself emotionally by expecting bad outcomes first. But hopelessness slowly drains life from the spirit. Hope matters. Peace matters. Faith matters. Because what grows inside your spirit eventually affects your body too. There are listeners tonight whose bodies became tired not only from disease, but from emotional overload. Stress affected your sleep. Fear affected your strength. Anxiety affected your peace. And over time, your whole body carried the weight of hidden emotional pressure. But tonight I am speaking calm over your nervous system. Calm over your breathing. Calm over your thoughts. Calm over your emotions. Because healing flows more freely where peace replaces panic. I know there are moments when you feel frustrated watching others live freely while you continue struggling quietly. But do not compare your journey with anyone else's timing. I am working personally in your life. I know exactly where healing is needed. I know exactly where fear still hides. And I know exactly how to restore both your body and your spirit completely. That is why you must remain close to me daily. Not only during fearful moments, not only during painful nights. Walk with me consistently. Pray consistently. Rest in my presence consistently. Because peace grows where relationship grows, and strength grows where trust becomes deeper. The blood of Jesus still protects your future. That means sickness does not decide how your story ends. Fear does not decide how your story ends, and discouragement does not decide how your story ends. I do. There are some listening right now who secretly became tired of talking about healing because the waiting felt too long. But hear me carefully tonight. Do not let delayed healing create permanent hopelessness inside your heart. Your prayers were heard, your tears were seen, and your pain was never ignored. Even now, while you continue listening, healing peace is moving through your body quietly. Emotional heaviness is beginning to lift. Fear is loosening its grip over your thoughts, and strength is starting to rise again inside places that felt weak for too long. Because where my presence enters, restoration begins. Where the blood of Jesus is welcomed with faith, fear begins losing authority. And where hope returns, healing becomes easier to receive emotionally and spiritually. I want you to stop living as though your body is permanently broken. Speak life again. Speak healing again. Speak strength again, because your words affect your atmosphere more than you realize. The blood of Jesus still speaks restoration over weak bodies. The blood of Jesus still speaks peace over anxious hearts. The blood of Jesus still speaks confidence over discouraged spirits. And the blood of Jesus still reminds sickness that your body belongs to me. So tonight, breathe deeply again. Release the panic. Release the emotional pressure. Release the fear of tomorrow, and let your soul rest safely in my hands again. Because I am still healing, I am still restoring, I am still strengthening, and I am still working inside your life even now. If these words are speaking directly to your spirit tonight, type "The blood of Jesus is restoring my strength" in the comments as an act of faith. And if this message brought peace to your heart, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with someone who needs healing and encouragement tonight. And if you feel blessed and strengthened through this ministry, you can support this work through the link below so more people around the world can continue receiving faith-filled prayers, healing hope, and the peace that comes through the blood of Jesus. Remember this before you rest tonight. The blood of Jesus still heals. The blood of Jesus still restores. The blood of Jesus still protects. And the blood of Jesus still carries power greater than every sickness standing against your life. There are nights when your body becomes quiet, but your mind still refuses to rest. You try to sleep, yet fear keeps speaking. You try to relax, yet anxiety keeps returning. You try to believe healing is coming, yet discouragement quietly whispers that nothing will change. But listen carefully to me now. The blood of Jesus still has power to bring peace into every restless place inside your life. Stay with me until the end, because what I am about to speak over your spirit is meant to calm your thoughts, strengthen your faith, and restore deep inner peace where sickness and fear tried to create emotional exhaustion for too long. I know there are people listening right now who feel mentally tired, not only physically weak, mentally tired. Tired of overthinking, tired of worrying, tired of carrying fear silently every single day, and slowly your mind became a battlefield where peace struggles to remain. But tonight I am reminding you that your thoughts do not have to remain controlled by fear forever. The blood of Jesus still calms anxious minds. The blood of Jesus still silences tormenting thoughts. And the blood of Jesus still restores emotional peace to hearts overwhelmed by pressure and uncertainty. My child, stop expecting fear every morning before the day even begins. You have spent too much time preparing emotionally for pain, disappointment, bad reports, and negative outcomes. Now your body feels tense, even during quiet moments, because anxiety became part of your daily atmosphere. But fear is not protecting you. Fear is exhausting you. Fear is draining strength from your body and peace from your spirit. And tonight I am calling your heart back into rest. You do not need to control every outcome. You do not need to predict every future possibility. You do not need to carry tomorrow's burden before tomorrow even arrives, because your future is still safely held inside my hands. I know there are moments when symptoms make you afraid, moments when weakness makes you discouraged, moments when pain returns unexpectedly and your mind immediately fills with panic. But do not let temporary discomfort create permanent hopelessness inside your spirit. Healing journeys sometimes move gradually. Peace sometimes returns step by step. Strength sometimes rebuilds slowly. But slow restoration is still restoration. And even now, while you are listening to these words, healing is still working quietly inside you. The blood of Jesus still carries healing power through every part of your body, through your nerves, through your blood, through your organs, through your thoughts, through your emotions, through every hidden place where fear and sickness tried to remain for too long. I want you to stop speaking destruction over yourself. Stop declaring defeat over your body. Stop repeating words filled with hopelessness every day. Your words shape your atmosphere more than you understand. When fear controls your speech, discouragement grows deeper inside your spirit. But when faith begins speaking again, peace begins rising again. Declare healing over your mornings. Declare peace over your nights. Declare strength over your future. Because the blood of Jesus still speaks life over every area where sickness tried to create weakness. There are some listening tonight who became emotionally trapped after hearing difficult diagnoses or medical reports. Fear entered your thoughts and quietly stayed there. Now every sensation creates anxiety. Every symptom creates panic. Every delay creates discouragement. But tonight I am loosening fear's grip over your heart, because fear was never meant to become your daily companion. I created your spirit for peace. I created your mind for rest. And I created your life for more than endless emotional pressure. That is why you must protect your inner atmosphere carefully. Not every fearful voice deserves agreement. Not every negative prediction deserves authority inside your heart. And not every anxious thought deserves your attention. Guard your peace intentionally. Fill your environment with prayer. Fill your atmosphere with worship. Fill your thoughts with promises stronger than fear. Because what repeatedly enters your spirit eventually shapes your emotional condition. I know there are listeners whose sickness became connected to emotional stress and hidden trauma. Long seasons of fear weakened your sleep. Constant worry drained your energy. Emotional pressure affected your body more deeply than people around you realize. But tonight, I am speaking rest over your nervous system. Rest over your thoughts. Rest over your emotions. Because healing flows more freely where peace becomes stronger than panic. The blood of Jesus still restores emotional balance. The blood of Jesus still renews weary minds. The blood of Jesus still strengthens exhausted bodies. And the blood of Jesus still reminds darkness that your life belongs to me. I want you to stop carrying shame about your struggle too. Some of you secretly feel embarrassed by weakness, embarrassed by needing help, embarrassed that healing has taken longer than expected. But hear me clearly tonight. Your value was never determined by your physical condition. You are still loved. You are still valuable. You are still deeply cared for by heaven, and your healing process does not make you less worthy of peace, dignity, or hope. There are moments when discouragement tries to convince you to stop believing completely. But do not surrender now. You are closer to restoration than fear wants you to realize. Even now, while you continue listening, emotional heaviness is beginning to lift slowly from your thoughts. Peace is entering your mind again. Strength is quietly returning to your spirit. And hope is rising again where fear once felt overwhelming. Because where my presence is welcomed, healing begins moving. Where the blood of Jesus is remembered with faith, fear begins losing authority. And where peace enters, the body begins responding differently too. So tonight, release the pressure. Release the panic. Release the emotional exhaustion you have carried for too long. And allow your spirit to rest safely inside my care again. Because I am still healing. I am still restoring. I am still strengthening. And I am still walking beside you through every moment of this journey. If these words are speaking directly into your heart tonight, type, "The blood of Jesus is calming my mind," in the comments as an act of faith. And remain until the end of this journey, because the next message will help restore courage, rebuild confidence in your healing process, and strengthen both your body and spirit through the mighty power of the blood of Jesus. There are hidden wounds inside your heart that sickness created slowly over time. Not only physical pain, not only weakness, but emotional wounds nobody else fully sees. Wounds created by fear, uncertainty, disappointment, waiting, and exhaustion. And after carrying those battles for so long, some of you no longer feel like the same person you once were. But listen carefully to me now. The blood of Jesus still has power to restore every broken place inside your life. Stay with me until the end, because what I am about to speak over your spirit is meant to heal emotional heaviness, restore lost joy, and remind your heart that your future is not controlled by fear or sickness. I know there are listeners tonight who secretly feel emotionally numb. You still pray. You still try to believe. You still continue moving forward. But deep inside, part of your heart became tired after carrying pain for too long, and now joy feels distant. Peace feels fragile, and hope sometimes feels difficult to hold on to. But tonight I am breathing fresh strength into your spirit again. The blood of Jesus still restores weary souls. The blood of Jesus still heals emotional scars. And the blood of Jesus still carries enough power to rebuild the joy sickness tried to steal from your life. My child, stop believing the lie that you will always feel this heavy emotionally. You have allowed discouragement to stay inside your thoughts for too long. Now, sadness feels familiar. Anxiety feels familiar. Emotional exhaustion feels normal. But I never created your spirit to live permanently burdened. I created your heart for peace. I created your soul for hope. And I created your life for more than surviving each day under fear and heaviness. There are some listening tonight who lost confidence because sickness changed your life unexpectedly. You no longer trust your body the same way. You no longer feel emotionally secure the same way. And now fear quietly follows you through everyday life. But hear me clearly tonight. Fear does not own your future. Sickness does not own your identity. And emotional heaviness does not have permission to remain over your life forever. The blood of Jesus still speaks restoration over every wounded part of your heart. I know some of you became discouraged because people around you do not fully understand what you are carrying. They may care about you, but they cannot always see the invisible emotional battle happening inside your thoughts every day. They do not always see the overthinking. They do not always see the fear hidden behind your silence. They do not always understand how exhausting it feels to fight sickness while still trying to remain hopeful. But I see it all completely. I see the nights you cried privately. I see the moments when fear overwhelmed your mind. I see the emotional pressure you tried to hide from everyone else. And tonight I am reminding you that none of your pain has been unseen by heaven. Even during your weakest moments, I remain near you. Even during your most fearful nights, my mercy continued covering you. And even during the seasons when you felt emotionally empty, the blood of Jesus was still speaking life over your future. I want you to stop speaking hopelessness over your healing journey. Stop saying nothing will ever change. Stop expecting disappointment before blessings have a chance to arrive. Stop allowing negative thoughts to dominate your atmosphere every day, because your emotional environment affects your healing more than you realize. Fear weakens peace. Anxiety weakens rest. And hopelessness slowly drains strength from the spirit. But tonight, I am restoring peace inside your heart again. The blood of Jesus still calms emotional storms. The blood of Jesus still removes heaviness from tired minds. The blood of Jesus still restores joy in places where discouragement tried to settle permanently. There are listeners tonight whose bodies became exhausted because emotional stress remained inside them for too long. Years of fear, pressure, and hidden anxiety affected your sleep, your energy, your thoughts, and even your physical strength. But tonight, I am speaking rest over your nervous system, rest over your emotions, rest over your thoughts. Because healing flows more freely where peace is welcomed deeply into the spirit. I want you to learn to rest again without guilt. Many of you feel guilty whenever you slow down, guilty whenever you need help, guilty whenever your body feels weak. But your healing process does not make you less valuable. You are still loved deeply. You are still precious to me, and your weakness does not reduce your worth. There are moments when sickness tries to steal identity from people. You stop seeing yourself through faith and begin seeing yourself only through symptoms, medications, limitations, and fear. But hear me carefully tonight. You are more than your condition. You are more than your diagnosis. You are more than your pain. The blood of Jesus still speaks purpose over your life. There is still beauty ahead for you. There is still peace ahead for you. There is still laughter ahead for you. And there is still healing unfolding inside your story, even now. That is why you must protect your spirit carefully. Surround yourself with peace. Surround yourself with truth. Surround yourself with things that strengthen faith instead of feeding fear constantly. Because what repeatedly enters your atmosphere eventually shapes your emotional condition. Even now, while you continue listening, heaviness is lifting from your thoughts. Emotional pressure is loosening slowly. Joy is beginning to rise again inside places that felt empty for too long. And your spirit is beginning to breathe more freely again. Because where my presence enters, healing begins. Where peace enters, strength begins returning. And where the blood of Jesus is welcomed with faith, hopelessness cannot remain forever. So tonight, release the sadness, release the fear, release the emotional burden you carried silently for too long, and allow your heart to rest safely in my care again, because I am still healing you. I am still restoring you. I am still strengthening you. And I am still writing a future filled with hope beyond this present struggle. If these words are speaking directly into your spirit tonight, type "the blood of Jesus is healing my heart" in the comments as an act of faith, and remain until the end of this journey, because the next message will help restore deep inner strength, renew your confidence, and remind your spirit that complete healing and peace are still possible through the mighty power of the blood of Jesus. There are moments when healing feels difficult, because fear keeps reminding you of everything that went wrong before. You remember painful nights. You remember difficult reports. You remember seasons when your body felt weak and your heart felt overwhelmed. And sometimes those memories quietly create fear inside your spirit, even when healing is already beginning. But listen carefully to me now. The blood of Jesus still has power to restore confidence where fear tried to leave permanent scars. Stay with me until the end, because what I am about to speak over your heart is meant to rebuild courage, renew hope, and strengthen your faith so you can continue walking through this healing journey without surrendering emotionally to fear and discouragement. I know there are listeners tonight who secretly feel afraid of hoping again. You hoped before and became disappointed. You believed before and became discouraged. You prayed before and still experienced difficult moments. And because of that, part of your heart became guarded. Now sometimes you protect yourself emotionally by expecting negative outcomes first. But hopelessness is not protecting you. Fear is not protecting you. Anxiety is not protecting you. They are only exhausting your spirit. The blood of Jesus still speaks peace over wounded emotions. The blood of Jesus still restores confidence inside fearful hearts. And the blood of Jesus still carries authority over every painful memory trying to steal your peace tonight. My child, stop building your future around old fear. Your past experiences may have hurt you deeply, but they do not control your destiny forever. What happened before does not mean healing is impossible now. What frightened you yesterday does not have authority over tomorrow, because I am still greater than every fear living inside your thoughts. There are listeners tonight whose greatest struggle is emotional exhaustion. You became tired from carrying hidden anxiety for too long. Your mind rarely rests completely because part of you is always preparing for something bad to happen again. And slowly, your nervous system became overwhelmed by constant emotional pressure. But tonight, I am calling your spirit back into peace. Slow down your thoughts. Slow down your fears. Release the constant need to predict every outcome. Because peace begins growing where trust becomes deeper than anxiety. The blood of Jesus still calms overactive minds. The blood of Jesus still restores emotional balance. The blood of Jesus still renews exhausted bodies and weary spirits. I know some of you listening became discouraged because healing did not happen exactly the way you expected. Maybe you thought restoration would happen instantly. Maybe you believed fear would disappear overnight. Maybe you hoped pain would never return again. But healing journeys sometimes unfold step by step, and during those steps, I am teaching your spirit how to trust me more deeply than before. Do not mistake temporary struggles for permanent defeat. Do not let one difficult day destroy your faith completely, and do not allow discouragement to speak louder than my promises. Because even now, while you are listening, healing is still moving quietly inside your life. Strength is still rebuilding. Peace is still returning, and hope is still rising again inside places that felt broken for too long. The blood of Jesus still carries healing authority over your entire body, over your immune system, over your thoughts, over your sleep, over your emotions, over your energy, and over every hidden place where sickness tried to create fear and weakness. I want you to stop identifying yourself only through struggle. Some of you no longer recognize yourselves outside of pain, treatments, symptoms, and emotional exhaustion. Sickness became such a large part of life that you forgot how valuable and precious you still are beyond the struggle. But hear me clearly tonight. You are not your diagnosis. You are not your fear. You are not your weakness. You are still deeply loved. You still carry purpose. And you still carry a future filled with hope through me. That is why you must guard your atmosphere carefully. Not every fearful conversation deserves your attention. Not every negative story deserves agreement inside your thoughts. And not every anxious thought deserves space inside your spirit. Protect your peace intentionally. Fill your atmosphere with worship. Fill your thoughts with promises stronger than fear. Fill your spirit with reminders of my faithfulness, instead of constant panic about the future. Because emotional peace affects physical healing more deeply than many people realize. There are listeners tonight whose bodies became exhausted from carrying stress for too long. Years of fear drained your strength. Years of anxiety weakened your rest. Years of emotional pressure affected your body more deeply than others understand. But tonight I am restoring calm over your nervous system, calm over your breathing, calm over your thoughts. Because healing grows stronger where peace becomes welcome again. The blood of Jesus still removes heaviness from tired hearts. The blood of Jesus still restores strength to weak bodies. The blood of Jesus still heals emotional wounds hidden beneath physical pain. And the blood of Jesus still reminds darkness that your life belongs to me. I know there are moments when you feel emotionally isolated in this journey. People may care about you, but they cannot always understand the full weight of what you carry internally every day. But I understand completely. I understand every fear. I understand every hidden tear. I understand every exhausted thought. And tonight I am reminding you that you are not walking through this battle alone. Even now, my peace is entering your thoughts again. My strength is entering your spirit again, and hope is beginning to rise again where discouragement once lived. Because where my presence enters, healing begins moving. Where peace enters, fear begins weakening. And where the blood of Jesus is welcomed with faith, hopelessness cannot remain forever. So tonight, release the emotional pressure. Release the fear of tomorrow. Release the hidden anxiety you have carried silently for too long, and allow your spirit to rest safely in my promises again. Because I am still healing you. I am still restoring you. I am still strengthening you. And I am still writing a future for your life that fear cannot destroy. If these words are speaking directly into your spirit tonight, type "the blood of Jesus is restoring my hope" in the comments as an act of faith. And remain until the final message, because the last part of this journey will help seal peace over your mind, restore complete confidence in your healing, and remind your spirit that your future remains covered by the mighty power of the blood of Jesus. There comes a moment when fear must finally release its hold over your life. Not because every symptom disappears instantly, not because every question suddenly receives an answer, but because your spirit finally understands that the blood of Jesus is greater than every sickness, every fear, every anxious thought, and every burden you have carried for too long. Stay with me until the very end, because what I am about to speak over your heart is meant to seal peace deeply inside your spirit. Tonight, I want you to stop living as though sickness has the final word over your future, because it does not. I do. I know there were moments when you almost gave up emotionally, moments when fear became overwhelming, moments when exhaustion made you wonder whether healing would ever fully come. There were nights when you cried silently because you were tired of carrying pain. There were days when anxiety drained your strength before the morning even fully began. But through every difficult moment, my presence never left you. While you were afraid, I remained near. While you were exhausted, I remained faithful. While you were uncertain, the blood of Jesus was still speaking healing, mercy, and protection over your life. My child, stop believing that your current condition is your permanent future. You have spent too much time measuring your destiny by temporary symptoms. You have spent too much time speaking fear over tomorrow before tomorrow even arrives. But tonight, I am calling your heart into deeper trust than ever before. Trust me with your healing. Trust me with your body. Trust me with your future. Because I am still working inside places you cannot fully see yet. The blood of Jesus still carries authority over every area of your life, over your thoughts, over your emotions, over your sleep, over your strength, over your organs, over your breathing, over your blood, over your nerves, and over every hidden place where sickness tried to leave fear behind. There is no disease greater than my power. There is no weakness beyond my ability to restore. And there is no emotional wound too deep for my peace to heal completely. I know some of you listening became emotionally trapped by fear of relapse, fear of pain returning, fear of hearing bad news again. Now your mind constantly waits for something wrong to happen. And because fear stayed inside your thoughts for so long, peace became difficult to hold on to. But tonight, I am breaking that agreement with fear. Fear is not your identity. Anxiety is not your destiny. And emotional exhaustion is not your permanent home. The blood of Jesus still restores complete peace to weary hearts. I want you to begin seeing yourself differently again, not as broken, not as hopeless, not as abandoned, but as someone deeply loved, deeply protected, and deeply cared for by heaven itself. Because you are. You are not fighting this battle alone. Even now, while you are listening, healing peace is moving through your spirit again. Fear is loosening its grip over your thoughts. Emotional heaviness is beginning to lift, and strength is quietly rising again inside your body and mind. Because where my presence enters, restoration begins. Where peace enters, healing becomes easier to receive. And where the blood of Jesus is welcomed with faith, hopelessness cannot remain forever. I know some of you became discouraged because healing took longer than expected. You thought things would improve faster. You thought fear would disappear completely by now. But hear me carefully tonight. Slow healing is still healing. Gradual restoration is still restoration. And every step forward still matters deeply. Do not despise small progress. Do not ignore the quiet victories. Sometimes healing begins with better peace before better strength. Sometimes healing begins emotionally before it fully appears physically. And sometimes healing unfolds little by little, while your spirit learns to trust me more deeply than before. That is why you must stop speaking defeat over your body. Stop declaring hopelessness over your future. Stop allowing fear-filled thoughts to dominate your atmosphere every day, because your words shape your spirit more than you realize. Speak life again, speak healing again, speak peace again, because the blood of Jesus still speaks restoration over every part of your life. There are listeners tonight whose greatest need is not only physical healing anymore. Your greatest need became emotional rest. Years of stress, anxiety, pressure, and fear exhausted your nervous system. Your body became tired because your spirit remained tense for too long. But tonight, I am speaking deep rest over your soul, rest over your mind, rest over your emotions, rest over your body. Because healing flows more freely where peace becomes stronger than panic. I want you to protect your peace carefully after tonight. Guard your thoughts, guard your atmosphere, guard your heart from voices that continually feed fear and hopelessness. Not every opinion deserves authority over your spirit. Stay close to me daily. Pray daily. Rest in my presence daily. Because peace grows through relationship with me. The blood of Jesus still covers your future. That means tomorrow is not controlled by fear. Your life is not controlled by sickness. And your story is not controlled by discouragement. I am still writing your story. And I am still able to restore what pain tried to destroy. Even now, while you continue listening, hope is rising again inside your spirit. Emotional chains are breaking quietly. Fear is losing authority, and healing peace is settling over your life like calm after a long storm. Because I am still with you. I am still healing you. I am still strengthening you. And I am still carrying you safely through this journey. So tonight, release every burden you kept holding alone. Release the fear. Release the anxiety. Release the emotional exhaustion, and rest your spirit fully inside my promises again. Because the blood of Jesus still heals. The blood of Jesus still restores. The blood of Jesus still protects. And the blood of Jesus still carries power greater than every sickness standing against your life tonight. If these words are speaking deeply into your spirit right now, type, "The blood of Jesus covers my life completely," in the comments as an act of faith. And if this prayer series brought peace, healing, and encouragement into your heart, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with someone who needs hope and healing tonight. And if you feel blessed through this ministry, you can support this work through the link below so more people around the world can continue receiving healing prayers, spiritual encouragement, and peace through the mighty power of the blood of Jesus. Remember this always before you sleep tonight. The blood of Jesus still heals. The blood of Jesus still strengthens. The blood of Jesus still restores. And the blood of Jesus still speaks life, peace, healing, and victory over every battle inside your body, your mind, and your future.